Welcome to today's demo, showcasing the F5 automation toolchain on the next generation R-series appliances and Velos chassis. Automation reduces deployment time by up to 10 times. It reduces complexity and human error, which is why F5OS, the OS that runs on F5's next generation hardware, is an API-first architecture, meaning everything is automatable at the F5OS layer. There are F5OS APIs for every function, and the UI and CLI are built on top of the API. On the F5 Cloud Docs page, you'll find documented API workflows and reference guides for both the R-series appliance as well as Velos chassis. You'll also recall that both BIGIP and BIGIP Next tenants can run on the same R-series appliance or Velos chassis. In addition to BIGIP API workflows and documentation, you'll also find references to the BIGIP Next API workflows. In addition to the API workflows, F5OS and BIGIP have tightly coupled integrations with both Ansible and Terraform. Once again, please check out the Cloud Docs link to this video. Let's now jump in to the hands-on demo section of this video. For today's demo, we're going to use the F5OS Ansible module to configure system and network settings on an R-series appliance. We'll then use the F5OS Ansible module to deploy a pair of BIGIP tenants running different BIGIP software versions on the R-series appliance, and finally use AS3 to deploy applications on the BIGIP tenants running on R-series. I'm now going to begin to run the F5OS Ansible playbook. As you can see on the screen, the playbook has begun executing. The first step is to create multiple VLANs on the R-series appliance and then associate the VLANs to interfaces. We're now importing the BIGIP tenant image onto the R-series appliance. We're now deploying a pair of BIGIP tenants. For today's demo, I'm going to go to the phase of this demo where the BIGIP tenants have been deployed. As you can see here, the Ansible playbook has completed execution. To quickly recap and look at the Ansible run logs, a first BIGIP tenant with 4 vCPUs and running BIGIP version 15.1.8 is deployed, and a second BIGIP tenant running BIGIP 17.1 and with 4 vCPUs has also deployed. As you can see on the R-series UI, I have 2 BIGIP tenants, each assigned 4 vCPU. The first BIGIP tenant is running BIGIP 17.1 and the second BIGIP tenant is running BIGIP 15.1.8. To provision application services and configure a HTTP application on your BIGIP tenant, you can use the BIGIP AS3 declaration. You can either choose an existing AS3 template, such as the one you're seeing on the screen, or create a new one. An AS3 declaration contains information about the application you're attempting to configure and includes virtual IP addresses, pool member IP, and monitor. We're now going to invoke the AS3 declarative interface to configure an HTTP application. Let's go ahead and do so. As you can see, we've configured an HTTP application using the AS3 declarative interface. To recap, in today's demo, we used the F5OS Ansible modules to configure system and network settings on an R-series appliance. We then used the Ansible modules to also deploy BIGIP tenants on the R-series appliance, And finally, use the AS3 declarative API to deploy applications on BIGIP tenants running on R series. Thank you for watching.